Hi everyone. This video will be relatively short, maybe about 5 minutes. All I want to do is talk about the token actions of LUS, someone who in the past I have cited as both attacking and defending Karl Jobst. So LUS is someone who has acknowledged that Karl Jobst is racist, and in the same breath is someone who very recently said that they don't want to use the word racism to describe Karl Jobst because they find the word distasteful. In other words, they're tone policing themselves. So that's what we'll be talking about. The first part of the video we'll watch where LUS talks about the fact that Karl is racist, and LUS acknowledges that and knows where you can go to find evidence about that. And then we'll watch another video where he says he doesn't want to show that information because he finds it distasteful to even say the word racist, despite the fact that he'll repeatedly bring it up, which is, in and of itself, a form of tone policing. So that's what we're going to be talking about. First up, here's LUS saying in a past video that he thinks Karl Jobst is racist.
I found some other stuff that is very disturbing on the Discord channel that Karl has posted about, and again, it's a long time ago, and it's a little racist if I had to be honest with you, and I didn't take Karl to be that type of individual, but again, the more I learn, let me repeat this again. I'm getting really upset right now about Karl because I used to be a huge fan of his. If you watch the completionist arc I did, I was 100% on Karl and Mutahar's side. Then the more you learn about Karl, and people say, oh, it's because he lost. Yeah, it is because he lost. If he won, none of this would have mattered.
Okay, so that is LUS in a past video only 11 days ago on April 29th, 2025. So a month after the lawsuit came and went, LUS is acknowledging that Karl Jobst is racist. His behaviors are racist, which makes Karl racist. And here's a follow-up video released 1 hour ago today on May 10th, 2025, titled Karl Jobst the Completionist just filed a lawsuit against me, clickbait. And in this video, LUS essentially has a follow-up comment in regards to Karl's racist behavior. So this is what they said.
Particularly African Americans. That being said, it is hilarious, right, that they are giving me more views, that they are doing great.
Oops.
A Karl stand in my, because there's no reason, it's all ad hominem attacks, which is interesting because his wife is Asian. So you would think that Karl's own subscribe, maybe this is a shout out to Karl's dark history of allegations and Discord. Again, if you want to, I'm not going to post the stuff here because I find the word distasteful, but Karl has been alleged by Reddit and other individuals for being a, let's say, not very friendly to minority groups, specifically African Americans.
And Asian people on top of that. You literally just said in this video that Karl is racist not just towards African Americans, but also towards Asian people. But you don't want to use the word racist because you find it distasteful, and yet you're constantly saying, hey, if you go to his Discord channel, I'm not going to show it here, I'm not going to talk about it actively, and I'm going to, on one hand, say, well, it's racist, but on the other, I'm going to say, actually, I don't like that word. I'm going to say that he is not being very nice towards racial minorities. And it's like, okay, why are you trying to make it sound better than it is? Instead of just saying he's racist, which is demonstrably true, and something that you have said in the past, now you're going back and revisiting a lot of this and saying that you don't like to use that word. And regardless of why you're doing it, you're still tone policing yourself, and tone policing is a form of tokenism. It's a form of defending Karl, because on one hand, you'll be going after Karl, and you'll be saying, various things about him that are worth investigating, and yet you don't want to investigate him for racism. And this is the same kind of stuff that I went after Gen X Gamer for. The difference between you and Gen X Gamer is that you're not attacking me for calling you out. Like, you don't acknowledge what I'm saying, but you also don't come after me and start hurling racial slurs at me, which is nice, thank you. I mean, it's like the bare minimum, but so this is something that I noticed about LUS, to the point even that I write about it, where I have a section that's dedicated to just different thoughts and opinions about the research that I have in regards to Karl Jobst. And initially I have LUS himself, a non-white lawyer, has previously explained how Karl Jobst's Discord is still to this day full of racist material that LUS, if they were in Karl's shoes, would have deleted by now. LUS is exposing Karl Jobst's GoFundMe scandal 2 years ago with the timestamp. This is a video that I've played before, so I'm not going to play it again, and we just played it at the start of the video. So the stuff from 2018 and 2019 that Karl said wasn't racist back in 2021, including about his Chinese wife, LUS, and Asian American, thinks is disturbing and a little racist, i.e. to the level that it made him vocally feel upset and lose a lot of respect for Karl, what he calls dark. His behavior is dark and it's not worth defending, something to keep in mind. Maybe LUS was referring to the JAP comment instead of the one about Karl's wife or the hip-hop stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Racism is just as much about how someone's conduct makes the racial minority feel as it also pertains to the academic side of things, though LUS is a lawyer and weighs in as a lawyer. And to that, Karl is racist because he made LUS feel discriminated against in 2025 based on older material. Furthermore, even here, LUS, a token non-white queer person, tone polices themselves, i.e. by saying that Karl's behavior has been racist in the past and the present, but also that they find the word racist distasteful. Instead, they'd rather say about Karl that he's, quote, not very nice, let's say, to racial minorities. RE, Karl Jobst, the completionist, just filed a lawsuit against me, clickbait, timestamp 107, which we also just watched. I.e., while refusing to show Karl being racist on his own Discord to prove / demonstrate said racism, to that LUS is doing some seriously heavy lifting to play devil's advocate for a crypto-fascist, all while acknowledging that Karl's fanbase, in their opinion as a lawyer and Asian person, is racist towards Asian people, but also people of color. So, yeah, it's just a short little video, and it's a little video that, one, talks about how LUS acknowledges, on one hand, that Karl Jobst is racist, but also that he, despite the fact that he acknowledges it repeatedly, doesn't like to use the word racism. He'll say that it's disrespectful or it's dark. So he's dancing around the word to frame it in ways that effectively whitewash Karl Jobst's behavior. And this is token behavior coming from LUS. Is it token to the same extent as someone like Gen X Gamer? No, but it is something that I've acknowledged in past videos where I talk about the fact that different individuals, LUS and Gen X Gamer, are being defended by individuals who either won't say that they're racist at all or will say that they're racist and then basically backpedal. So LUS is the latter example. There's someone who will be like, oh, well, Karl's racist, but I don't want to really talk about it that much, even though I keep bringing it up in my videos, but I don't want to show any evidence of that. And, it's like, fine, LUS is a lawyer, and, he has, he's not just a private citizen, but he also is someone who lawyers and activists sometimes, like, it can be kind of oil to water. His profession is something that could be threatened by virtue of him. If it comes out that he is muckraking, that might not reflect very well, and it could interfere with his ability to get clients, for instance. That's me just going out on a limb and trying to come up with some kind of explanation that at least semi makes sense. But all the same, it doesn't change the fact that it's still token behavior. Token people will backpedal and basically defang their own criticism of someone. They'll recuperate it, sublimate it. They'll sublimate someone's behavior by recuperating their own criticism in defense of what they have, be it house, home, profession, reputation, it doesn't matter. So that's my thoughts and feelings on LUS. It's a shorter video. I feel like I enjoy a lot of the coverage that LUS does and says. You know, there are other things as well. Like if we scroll down, just a random example where LUS has a video and they're talking about the Elon Musk cheating scandal. And insofar as that goes, let me see here. Yes, here it is. Of Karl, LUS says in a recent follow-up video, to summarize, if Karl doesn't appeal, he's done an incredibly, incredibly bad thing to the Australian YouTuber community. Karl is not a hero. He should never have gone to trial, to verdict, and after he did, he should have settled. It was never too late to settle. This sets a very bad legal precedent for all YouTubers in Australia, and that is Karl's fault. LUS's lawyer on how Karl Jobst losing to Billy Mitchell will hurt YouTubers. And despite the fact that LUS is doing that, he's still being relatively token. And when I say relatively, I mean to a lesser degree than someone like Gen X Gamer. Like, he's not acknowledging the racism itself, except for calling it out, but he's also not going after someone like me who's acknowledging what he's doing. So he's not attacking me, but he's also he's more policing himself and what he's saying, and that's something that we can acknowledge. You know, that's something that I would criticize and be like, look, man, just call it what it is. It's like, Karl is racist, and that's just all there is to it. And the fact that LUS, a token non-white queer person, doesn't want to say that, to me, is kind of confusing. Like, it's like, dude, just, you can say things like you're retired at this point. So to provide a counter argument to my argument earlier where I'm like, oh, well, maybe he's worried about his profession. I'm like, well, no, he's gone on record and said that despite the fact that he's a practicing lawyer, he still has his license, he's also retired. So if he's retired, it's like, okay, maybe go out on a limb and, hey, look at this. This is something that on Karl's Discord, LUS, that you don't want to acknowledge. Here is Karl Jobst doing the Nazi salute through the heart goes out to you meme. You know, it's like, this is crypto-fascist behavior. And there are other people on the server that he's doing it too. He's not just doing it by himself. Like, he's doing it in a community. The community that you say is full of racist people. People who are racist not just towards African Americans, but also Asian Americans such as yourself, and also queer people such as myself. So this is something that should be acknowledged. I'm not going to beat a dead horse about it, but there you go. Just a short little video. I just wanted to sort of weigh in on it because I saw that LUS had said that today, and I was like, you know, that's weird. I think I should at least say something. So there you go. If you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything that you'd like me to look into, or you just want to say something, you know, I do read the comments and respond to them. And sometimes, depending on what someone says, it will lead me to do follow-up videos, or it will lead me to investigate this or that. So if you have something that you would like me to talk about, just casually or in an investigative way, in regards to my own expertise as someone who's written multiple books about tokenism and racism and intersectional feminism, gender studies, what have you, that's something that, you know, I do. That's what I do on YouTube. It's a hobby for me, just like for LUS, it's a hobby for them. So yeah, if you like the video, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.